Alright, Chubby, this is your video, Chubby Bear, and I can't remember what the numbers are afterward, but anyhow, I'll send it directly to you. You were asking about different recipes. Well, first of all, I have to say I'm really glad that I had my surgery in the wintertime, because I eat differently, or we eat differently as a family in the wintertime than we do in the summertime. In the summertime, we always eat lots of fruits and vegetables, things like that, and with my doctor, I couldn't eat veggies until like 3 months out or something, and it wasn't until almost 6 months out that I couldn't eat fruits till 3 months out, and veggies were even longer than that. So I would have just been like really dying in the summertime, and so in the wintertime it was a good thing for me, because one of the things, I'm not going to show you how to make it, but it's super simple. We do taco soup, and what I do is I use ranch style beans, canned crushed tomatoes, put them in a pot together, add taco seasoning. You can add corn if you can have corn. I usually add corn to it. And anything else? I think that's it. Anyhow, mix it all up, heat it, season it to taste. If you need more or less taco seasoning, depending on what you want, how your taste is going. My family, I would serve that to them with chips, and if they want to put cheese on top, or you want to put cheese on top, go for it, and they would eat it with chips. And I would just eat it in a bowl like you do chili. Anyhow, so that was something that in the wintertime we do a lot of stuff like that. Now, like I said, in the summertime I eat a little more fresh. So today I'll just show you what I made, okay? Today, like how you make deviled eggs, well, this is a deviled egg salad. So what I did, camera back up here, what I did is I took all the hard-boiled eggs, cut them in half, and took out all the boiled yolks. Then I took, in the bowl, I put a couple of scoops of mayo, some regular mustard, and some spicy brown mustard. That's it. Put it in there, crushed my yolks, threw them in, made a mixture of it, and got it enough to the right seasoning consistency. If you think you need a little salt or whatever, add that. Then I cut up all the egg whites, threw them in there, and mixed it up. You can eat it like that, or with Wassa crackers, or high-fiber bread, whenever you can have that. Otherwise, anyhow, that was what we did for that, and it's easier than deviled eggs as far as containing it, and that way my husband and the kids can have it as they want it. So I don't like to cook a lot during the summertime. Anyhow, the next thing I made today was this. It is a mixture of, I had a bunch of vegetables back up here. I had a bunch of vegetables in my refrigerator that I needed to use up. I had squash, some peppers, some eggplant, and I took all that, cut it up, all about the same size pieces, put a pot of water on to boil. When it came to a boil, dumped everything in it, and then turned the water off. Then, while I cut my tomatoes up and put them in the bowl, I drained off the things after they'd been in there a few minutes, just enough so that they're kind of blanched, semi-cooked, but not soft. Put the hot vegetables over the tomatoes. I took some cannellini beans and drained them and rinsed them off, threw them in there. Put in, I had 3 little green apples that I diced up and put in there. I put some black olives in there, and red wine vinegar. Also, because I do everything to taste, so it's really hard for me to mix and cook things without tasting. It needed a little more something, so I put a little mustard and a little brown spicy mustard in there as well. Also, too, the bruschetta calamata, which is basically ground crushed Kalamata olives with an oil and red wine vinegar inside of them. And anyhow, so I put that in there as well, several tablespoons or so of that. Mixed it all together, and I have black olives. I've got some canned mushrooms because I had them in the cabinet. I had one little lone can, so I threw it in there. Some fresh basil from my garden. You could use Italian dressing if you wanted that taste to it. It just depends on what you want specifically. This is a little cut-in edit. The stuff that I made with all the vegetables is a base that you can serve cold, just so that you can add in like you can serve it with grilled chicken over the top, or if you want to use some sort of luncheon meat or salami, or you want to add cheese to it to give it more protein. It's just a really good base and then you can add whatever other types of, besides what beans are in there, you can add other types of protein to it. So anyhow, I just wanted to stick that in there real quick as a side note, that that's what the whole thing was about, so that you could add whatever type of meat to it and just be something quick and light and cool that you could do for the summertime. The last thing I'll show you real quick is the pizza. Let's see, here we go. Anyhow, this is half of one that was left over from last night, and I used the burrito size whole carb, low carb whole wheat flour tortillas, or I use the wraps from the tortilla factory. And what I do, look at me, what I do is first I spray them with Pam, put the tortilla in the oven, and toast it really, really well. You want to do this so that your pizza doesn't end up soggy, because once you go to putting the ingredients on it and put it back in there, the moisture from the tomatoes and different things can make it soggy. So after it comes out, it's really toasted. The next thing I do is I put some of the buitoni pesto lightly over the top of the pizza, and then I just put whatever you want on it. I put fresh tomatoes. I never use tomato sauce, but I use diced tomatoes, peppers, sliced Kalamata olives, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese. Sometimes I've even put, if I've had grilled eggplant, any kind of grilled meat left over from the grill. This one had some smoked pork that we had. If I don't have any meat left over from the grill, what I'll do is I'll take deli shaved salami, and I'll put that on there, and then a little mozzarella cheese on top to kind of hold everything together. Stick it back in the oven, and when it comes out, cut it into fours. Probably initially you're only going to be able to eat one slice of that. My husband, who has not had any type of surgery, can eat only one whole pizza. And depending on how I'm feeling, I can eat a piece to 2 pieces of it. So that would be almost like a half a pizza to a quarter of it. Anyhow, those are some ideas. Those are the things that I do that have gotten me through so far. If you need anything else,